logo party. I'm super thrilled to have you here. I know that creating a brand and working on your business and having a logo can be a really important part of what you do as an online entrepreneur. And so we want to have this party just as a fun way to connect with people, to learn a little bit more about branding, logos, what that's like. So when you get to jump in, a quick little tour of this online presentation platform. If you have not been here to Cloud Presenter before, when you look at this over on the left, there are some parts for you to raise your hand. You can see the component where there's a little chat bubble. If you want to say hello in the chat, I would love to know where you're from and what you think about your logo. Do you love it? Are you looking to revise it? Do you use it a lot or you don't use it at all? Let us know. There's also a part where you can ask questions. If you want to leave a question for me anytime, I am happy to look at those. We are going to get started with our presentation so we can have a little bit of fun and we can connect with you about loving your logo and doing all kinds of fun things when it comes to actually having a logo that you love. So here's our agenda for today. Number one, we're going to just talk all about logos. What are some of the components for logos? What makes up a great logo? How to create a lot of variations in your logo, pick colors, make it match your branding, do all of those great things in there. And then at the end, if people have questions, we can absolutely connect. You can leave any time, and we will tell you about fun things and fun ways to actually take next steps with your branding and your logo. So are you ready? Are you excited? So here are your goals today. They came out a little funny when I downloaded this PowerPoint. Sorry about that. The font should be different there. But okay, so here's how what you can keep in mind about what to think about while you're watching this and what to walk away with, right? So want you to know how to get inspired and be in a place where you can either create a logo that you love or update something that you already have to reflect your business right now and make it work for you. I want you to walk away from here feeling inspired and excited about your branding and all the things that you can do going forward with your business, having this set up. I think that one of the things that stood out to me the most in working one-on-one with clients in terms of branding is that they feel confident when it comes to having a logo, that they can really start to do things for their business that they've been waiting to do going forward, right? And I want you to have fun and connect. So if you get to meet people here, go ahead and say hello to anybody that's coming on. And hello to me. I'd love to talk with you and find out what you're doing. So here's a little bit about me, just a quick background. That picture on the left is in my house, in my foyer, which is a little bit symbolic of how I started my online business back in 2009. I started a home decor blog to write about all the furniture makeovers and all the DIY projects I do in my house. That's my little ones, my family up in the front. I run a wellness team in the network marketing space, which is so much fun. I love natural living. It's one of my passions. And there's a picture of me in Chicago. In the bottom right is us in the middle of our 2.5-year gut renovation of a family cottage, which we are just finishing. I love DIY. I love creativity. It's part of who I am and what I do all the time. And you'll see a little bit of that in the presentation. Here's a couple of just examples of things that I have done in terms of branding work. I work one-on-one with clients. I have digital courses and programs for you to learn about branding and logos and content and do all of those marketing things. I'm super passionate about helping people create websites and doing marketing strategy for their business so that you can actually not necessarily work on those parts, but really focus on the passion and the reason why you started your business in the first place. So let's go on. Let's take a vote. Number one, when it comes to your logo, I would love for you to tell me in the chat, do you use it regularly and love it? You're super happy with your logo. You love seeing like things that, have your logo on it. You create and use it regularly. Or B, you have one, but you don't actually use it. Perhaps it needs a little bit of updating, or you want to revise the colors or something like that too. Or C, you don't like it at all and you need a new one. You need a total start from fresh. You need a redo with your logo. Tell me in the chat when you get to go over to the chat and leave a vote. I would love to know where you are with your logo creation. So here's a couple of things that I talk about when it comes to running an online business. I've had a home decor blog. I've run an Etsy shop. I'm in network marketing. I do one-on-one client work. I create digital products. And in the more than 10 years that I've been doing that and working with people and working with programs to help people learn about their marketing, these are the 4 major parts that I see make up your online business. First of all, you have your brand, right? We know that's our personality. That's the message we want to get out into the world. That includes the logo part, which we're going to talk about today, of course, and all of those other messaging parts, personality, what you say to the world, how you show up, where you show up, doing all those things. And then you have the services and products and things like that that you offer, right? We're all in business, so we all want to make money. That's where the money part comes in. The things, either you're doing coaching perhaps, or you're an affiliate marketer, or you're doing something along those lines. And then I see the other component of your business, and this actually is kind of optional, is your website. I love websites. I design them all the time. I have 5 website designs coming up in the next couple of weeks. I think it can be a major workhorse for your business. But yes, a website actually can be optional. It doesn't necessarily have to be something that you have, but you can do so many things with a site, online business stores, creating long form content, getting your message out there and building authority. And then the other last component of your online business is your marketing, right? So all the things that we do to promote our business, what we talk about, what it looks like, collaborations, email marketing, social media, all the parts in there that make up how you talk about what you do and where you talk about it, right? But in this picture, it's really just going to be, we're going to talk about that small logo part to help you get a great win and feel confident in that area and getting that. So everybody knows what a logo is, right? Just a symbol that represents your business, helps you to be seen as a professional, helps you share a message, helps people to start to recognize you, showcases your personality, things like that, right? So, okay, yeah, so those are great ways. So over in the chat, Kathy is saying, when we had our voting before about logos, none of them, she's fine with what she currently uses, yet she wants to perhaps refresh her logo. Great, that's a great place to be in. It shows that your business is evolving, which is really nice. So what makes a great logo? Something that's, of course, authentic for you. A lot of logos are really these days, what's in style perhaps is just typeset logos, which is a nice selection of fonts that are in your name or your business name. Logos are absolutely adaptable, and it absolutely will change as you and your business evolves. So don't get stuck in the thinking that perhaps you just create one and you put so much pressure on yourself about that it has to be perfect. Know that your logo and your branding will adapt over time, right? That's just kind of a natural progression. You can have a logo in a variety of formats because you definitely want to be able to use it in your marketing in different ways. There's a lot of different shapes and sizes and things like that for social versus websites versus print, if that's something you do. And of course, parts that make a great logo are that it speaks to your message and then it gets used, right? We want people to see it. We want people to know, that you have a logo. We want them to help recognize your business. So here's a couple of aspects of logo. We're going to go in some detail about some of these and not so much in others, just because people are a little bit more familiar, but also for the purposes of time so that we can kind of get through things. I don't like to do super long presentations. I know people just want a quick message and you want to get some learning in. So here's parts of the logo that generally kind of make up a brand image. That it reflects your brand, of course, right? So we talked about that, the personality, what is your message? What are you putting out there in the world? What's your impact? Then the colors, the text, any graphics that go with a logo and different formats of it, right? So like I said, we'll see some examples of that in a minute, but just keep these things in mind when you're looking to kind of put together overall what actually the logo is. So first of all, let's talk about colors, right? So we talked about a brand, and we're not going to go into messaging or branding right now, but we are going to get into a couple quick tips about what actually this can look like for you. So how to choose colors for your brand. Some people actually get stuck on this a little bit. And so here's a couple of tips about thinking of how to select those colors, what they look like, right? So color meaning, a lot of colors, of course, every color we know has a reflection of meaning. Red sometimes means like alarming or warnings or things like that, or power. Blue often means like related to like financial industries or things like that, or healthcare. Every color has a different meaning. But when you want to look at how to pick, think about what you want the color to mean, not only for you, but for your audience, right? Because people in your audience might react to certain colors in certain ways, even if it's not colors that you like, or they are colors that you like that you want to use. Then don't forget, of course, what industry or niche are you in? Often, like I said, we see the same colors in the same niches. And some of these might not apply at all. So when you look at the bottom, thinking about bold colors versus neutral, most of the time it's colors that you love are going to be colors that you use in your branding. And so they're going to reflect you, what it looks like for you, what your business is about. And then using color in your logo, people often ask, well, how many colors do I have? How many do I actually use in the logo? We'll talk about that in a second too. But the main points that I want people to know is that you absolutely want to be consistent with your colors and your branding. When we start to vary the colors too much and we do too many things, sometimes it gets a little muddied. That doesn't mean that you can't have a lot of colors, and you'll actually be surprised perhaps at how many colors I would recommend that people actually have in their logos. So, more tips about choosing colors for your brand. Talk about and think about when doing this what you like. What's the setting that the colors are going to be used in? We want to make sure that there's some contrast there, that you want to create a color palette coming out from the get-go, and you can test the colors. Because what happens often sometimes is people look at colors and you might find an image that you love and you just are so drawn to what it looks like and all the things in there. But then when you actually go and use it in a logo, it just kind of falls flat. It just doesn't work. It doesn't translate well online. It doesn't give you like excitement about using it. So that's why we say create a color palette, a variety of colors, and test those colors. Get feedback on them. If you really are feeling bold and ambitious and you want to put your logo out there, ask people what they think of the colors. Do they reflect you? Do they match? Do they go along with what you're trying to convey for your business? Another idea for choosing colors for your brand is to look at some of these places to get inspiration. So sometimes people think, well, I don't really know where to start when it comes to picking colors for my logo. Here are some ideas. Nature, of course, is an amazing source of inspiration for colors. People often pick a photo from a vacation and pull the colors from that photo because it is a great emotional connection and a memory for them. Look at competitors in your business and perhaps choose something that they're not doing or something that's a little bit different than what they're doing. That'd be a really great way to kind of get an idea of what colors are out there. Don't forget, of course, there's the color wheel with the opposing colors, primary, secondary colors on it for you to pick from. There's a ton of online color tools. If you go and search for some of those, you'll find some that actually will magically pull up brand colors, all coordinated and all matched. You can tweak them on there. You can hold some of them and shuffle the others for them to find different colors for you. So that's a really nice tool to go and look to see what kind of colors are on there. And then one of the main things is if you really are still lost and you don't know where to choose colors from, look at your wardrobe. What is in your home? What are the colors that you pick for things like blankets and decorations in your environment? Those are the colors that you like, specifically in your closet. If you go to your closet, if you've ever done like a wardrobe consultation or you kind of have done a capsule wardrobe, which I've done, it's really fun. It's amazing when you really narrow down and realize these are the colors that I wear all the time and these are not. Those absolutely can be colors that you use for your brand and for your logo and such. Pinterest, of course. Who loves Pinterest? Tell me. It's an amazing source of all kinds of things that you can find, both logo inspiration, design ideas, color coordinations, things like that. So those are a couple tips in choosing colors for your brand. So let's take a look at this. This is an example of a brand board that we've put together just as an example of what something might look like when you go and start to put together your logo and all the things that go with it. I often tell people to start with some photos, like we were saying, where the design and the images come from. Put those in there and pull some colors from there. You can put your logo on this, of course. You can pull the colors from it. You can have a variety of logos in here and any of the fonts and things like that that will come and go along with this. But here's another example of a color palette. Now tell me if you did not expect to see this many colors in a color palette. Or were you thinking maybe a color palette was just 2 or 3? I would like to know. This is what I designed for most of my clients when I get to work with branding and logo design. I actually pulled 9 or 10 colors for someone to use. This doesn't necessarily mean that all of them will show up in a logo, but it's a great option to have for a couple of reasons. Number one, when you go and do designs like social media and cover images and things like that, you're going to want a variety of colors to use. And you need lighter colors for backgrounds, darker colors for fonts and contrast, and of course your main brand colors in them. So this is an example of some that have, of course, we have teals, we have cools, we have black, navy, and pink. This is a big variety of a color palette and a metallic. So in total here, you have 10 options to use, all with color codes below them. So those are the little 6-digit codes after the hashtag that allow you to pull a specific color in a design. You've probably seen those in Canva if you work in there and what they look like, right? So an example of a color palette that you can pick. Next, we talk about fonts in our logos, right? What the font? There are so many of them to see. Now, this didn't come out 100% like it was supposed to. Some of these are just generically done here. So I will have to look at the presentation on this. But fonts are a really fun way to play around with personality for your business. A lot of popular things right now that we're seeing in logo designs are block fonts with a script font that is like balanced with it. So it gives you a lot of variety of things to do. Let me see if I can do, maybe this might go a little bit better if I share the screen instead. Give me 1 second. More. We're going to go back to here. Screen share. Yes. Because I think, tell me if you can see this. I think that we are, yes, let's get the fonts going here the right way. Yes. Okay. So this is what this is supposed to look like here when we pulled it. When it translated, when the document downloaded, the fonts came out of it. So, okay. So this is what we have. Tell me if you can see this new one with the nice fonts on it. I'd love to know. That's helpful. Okay. So here's just an example of some different fonts that people, are using. Some of these are brands that I put together for people, just, generic. Again, so fonts is an area where you can have a lot of fun. You can do a lot of variety to them, but let's talk about what happens next. So thinking of logos, who wants to see all of the logos that you can actually have with one brand design, with one that you come up with, right? So here's what you want to do, right? Say, yes, we do. Start with a basic typeset logo. This is basically writing out your name or your business name in a font that you like. With a tagline, this is a great way to differentiate yourself to help people understand exactly what you do. And then an element in it. So like this one just has a leaf here, right? As an example. Some people have these in their logos. Some people do not. That is completely dependent. And I should say in general, this is just my example of working with logos and my experience. Logos run the gamut. I mean, there are companies, of course, that have very extremely recognizable logos, and they are very designed. For the purposes of this presentation, these are things that most of us as online entrepreneurs can create either on ourselves or with a little bit of help online in terms of creating a logo. So take this one. So you have this. These are all of the ways that you can turn in your logo and create a logo suite, or what's called often alternative marks that you can use for your business. So again, just looking at the comparison, if this is a basic one you have, there's 3 fonts going on here and 2 colors and an element with a tagline at the bottom. You can take different parts of those and change it into any components of these where you are playing with the text, you're changing the italics a little bit, you're creating some different elements in there like circles, you're putting in something like a tagline with a hashtag in different ways you want to use it. And I invite you to think about how you can turn your logo into something like this so that you have more options to use it online, right? So at the bottom of social media stories or on the top of a website or on your opt-in, what would that logo look like for you? Tell me if this helps you get a little bit inspired. Do you have some ideas here of what might help you use a logo, gives you some fun inspiration to think about how you can update the one you have. So here's another phase we're going to talk about today. What would you like to do? Would you like to know what to do with your logo once you have it? So say you have something that you really like and you have been inspired, you've been updating your colors, you have a design that you like. Some people actually just don't know what exactly to do with their logo once they have it. Now, don't forget, this is a message for your business. You want to get it out there with the world. You want to use it often. And there's a ton of ways to do that. So here's a couple of places, just a quick rundown. When we look at the social media and search engine sites, some people intertwine those. They are not the same thing. Here's some ways that you can use your logo on some of these as an example. Instagram and, of course, TikTok. And a lot of places are focusing on short form video right now still. Don't forget about putting your logo on the cover images for those at the bottom of your posts in them. On story backgrounds is a really popular place to keep your logo. If you're doing things like inspirational quotes or you're taking polls, make some story backgrounds for yourself, have your logo at the bottom. If you don't know what these things are, feel free to just leave a question or a message in the chat here on the presentation and we could talk about that. But then Facebook, of course, LinkedIn, any of the social places, there's watermarks that you can have on live videos, featured images, cover images and things like that where people would find it, of course. Any of the cover images that are on your groups, on your Facebook profiles, on your business pages, things like that. of course, don't forget to include your logo in there. You want to help people to recognize that and get connected with you. And it's really fun, of course, to have a tagline on there to differentiate yourself and help people know specifically what you stand for, right? So then YouTube, thumbnails, watermarks, of course, posts on YouTube. They have different options for different things now. And Pinterest, great place. Of course, you always want to have your logo on Pinterest. Is a visual search engine, not a social media site. A lot of traffic can come from Pinterest. So make sure that if you're creating pins, video pins, static pins, idea pins, things like that, you get your logo on those to be able to see them. So here are other places when it comes to marketing and branding your business that you can use your logo, right? Your website, of course, it often is most likely in the header for your site. You can have different variations of that for mobile views, for desktop views, for tablet views, things like that. In footers, don't forget on opt-in forms on your site. A great place for that as well. Or you're having a mock-up of the image, of course, with your logo on it. Digital products. Who is in the business now of creating courses, PDFs, things like that, lead magnets for your business? You'll be surprised. Funny story. I get a lot of opt-ins that I go and, subscribe to from people that do not have their business name on them, do not have a logo. I don't even know who they're from. So don't forget to include your trademark, your stamp on all of those things that you create, including if you're using software with your email service provider, like landing pages. Make sure that your brand is at the top of those. Again, every single page, because people will click through to registration pages, thank you pages, opt-in pages. You want to make sure that they have a continual brand experience with you. And then they help to recognize you and what you do. Email signatures, great place for your logo, of course. I find that's really important to do. We get a lot of email these days, right? And you want people to remember who you are, add a personal touch with your picture on there and your logo so they know what you do, right? If you're in the business of doing print services, print postcards are really fun. I think they're coming back, some personalization in marketing and not just really mass marketing anymore. I signed up for something recently and I got a postcard in the mail from someone who I signed up for like a workshop like this for, and they sent me a postcard and I thought that was the most amazing thing. So of course, great place to have your branding on there. Business cards, if you still do those, or there's a lot of business card apps right now where you can scan, you can touch your phone to somebody else's and they get your contact information, which is really fun. And then marketing, of course, your podcast cover, any of those outlets that you do, like Linktree, Milkshake, link gathering sites, bio sheets, things like that, media kits. So is this helping you to understand where your logo might be, what it might look like, right? Come say hi in the chat if you'd like to, and we will keep going to talk about Logo Party. So then if you have a logo, you're saying, great, what do I do with it now? I recommend a couple things for people. Now, everyone has different design softwares that they use. I do primarily work in Canva for a couple of reasons. I love what the company stands for. They have a multitude of features to do, and it allows both myself and my clients to be able to use the files for their own design needs, right? So I always suggest for people that you get the files for your logo, that you have PNG files with transparent backgrounds in every variation of your logo that exists. The transparent background makes it so that when you go to place your logo on something, it doesn't have a white box around it. You can download those files on the Canva Pro feature, I know, but make sure that you have files. And a couple other tips about getting those is put some of your logo designs, your logo pictures on your cell phone, right? Because we're often doing stories and posts and things like that. It's great to be able to use your logo as a sticker on your social media stories. Wouldn't that be fun? So when you go to the sticker feature, you can pull up your camera roll, put your logo on anything that you're doing. It's a great kind of reflection of your brand, but also perhaps a safety feature so people don't copyright your images, take your images. You could have your branding on them at all times, right? In a watermark. Good idea. So import your files into Canva, set up your brand kit. This is a new term. They used to just be called a brand something before, but the brand kit in Canva is really nice because it allows you to put all of your brand colors in, like we talked about earlier with those hex codes, and all variations of your logo. So then when you're going to design, you can pull up your logo folder and just click and paste any of your logo variations in any of the designs that you make, or your VA is making, or your team is making, or someone along that line, right? And then share it. Everybody is going to be so excited for you that your business is at this amazing place, that you have a logo. Go ahead and post it online. Now, you don't necessarily even have to ask people what they think, because everyone has different design opinions, right? Post your logo, be proud of it. Tell people you're excited and what you're planning for your business. Help them get a little curious about what you do. Perhaps that'll drum up some conversations about what you do and what you offer, right? And then go ahead and use it. Create some new designs. I often make with my clients and people that I work with a checklist for where to put your logo once you have it. Make sure you're changing out your cover images. Make sure you're updating anything where the no logo was before. Make sure that people really see a connection between all those things that you're doing. And then I often tell people too, is when you have this logo, go ahead and just do some brainstorming. We all have ideas about business and what we want to do in our business, right? Don't forget to take some time and give yourself some space to just reflect and breathe and think about what the vision is for your future self, your future business. Do some planning in that. Do you want to be offering workshops? Are you looking to launch your first digital product? What are some of the things that you have on your agenda? Now that you have your brand set and your logo, you're loving it and you can go forward and do those things. So that's really fun. So voting time. Let's take a vote. Okay. I want to know what you're feeling now that you have a little bit of information about logo design and inspiration. Are you feeling like you're going to update your logo? Or perhaps you just love it as it is and you're ready to rock and roll and go forward? Or did this give you some ideas for your branding, what that might look like? I'd love to know in the chat. It's over on the, if you're on the left side on a desktop and otherwise in mobile. Good to know you're definitely going to update it. Yeah, there's a lot of things that you can do, especially when you go back and you see, like I had shown before, all of these variations that you can really make with a logo and what you can do with it. I would consider, and this is just my design opinion, all of these things, all of these designs right here that you see are your logo suite, which is a collection of all the things that make up your branding. Because here's why they're connected. They're in the same colors. They're in the same fonts. Does that make sense? So anything that you can create as a variety of your logo can connect to your branding that way. Again, just my opinion. How I work. So here's a couple of things. If you are in a place where you don't have a logo and you want to do something else with it, you can DIY it. We all do that at the beginning, right? I highly suggest you go online. Of course, Canva is an amazing place. Go and just start to create something. See if it's something that reflects your personality. See if you love the colors. You can also start with templates in either on Canva, or we have our own, which I think many of you have, the DIY logo bundle, which is a collection of 15 different brand boards and logo templates that you can customize yourself. So if you're someone that's thinking, I don't really have a creative side to my personality, I would love something already laid out and picked out for me, then the DIY logo bundle is for you. We have a coupon just for coming on today. Or you can also hire someone to create your branding and your logo. And I do that if anybody's ever interested. This was not a presentation, a webinar to make an offer at the end, but I want you to know what are the options that you can do. And I always want to empower people to be able to take control of your business and design and create the things that you want to do. That's why you see so many of my products and things like that had this DIY, do-it-yourself component to it, because you absolutely can be empowered to create a business and brand that you love. So here is the DIY logo bundle. It looks like some of these. I will share the link in the chat for the coupon code with the coupon code already attached. If you don't already have it, it's $20 off. And here we go. There it is in the chat. There is a coupon code if you want to go and grab that. That's my collection of the DIY logo bundle and all the things that go along with it. But then also you can grab it here and you will see the chat, like I said, with the coupon code is, I will tell you right now, Party April. I will put that in the chat and hope this helps you love you. That's the coupon code at this website right here to get the DIY logo bundle and start to create that on your own. And I would love to know when you get to use this, what are some of the things that you create? I would love to see your logo made from this. I would be super thrilled to do that and see that. And then lastly, just so you're aware of some of the things that I do, because I'm really so excited that you showed up today. These are some of the things that I do in my marketing business. If you find yourself in a place that one of these things can help you, we just launched, really exciting, a DIY designer Canva course and template library, which has all kinds of video tutorials about how to use Canva and all the amazing features that it has, but also includes all the templates that I have created for my clients and myself over the years. And that is actually on a special sale today. It is in a bundle for less than half the intro price if you want that. I can make sure to send that to you. And we have some other goodies too. If you want to get 60 plus days of content, we have graphics and pre-written captions already as one of our things. And you can find those at the shop link on my site as well, of course. And we're having an affiliate program coming soon. So if you find that these are products that your audience might love, I'd be super happy to tell you more about the affiliate program when they get started. You could leave a comment here and I will connect with you. But if you're on my email list, we will make sure to be able to send information out there. And that is our logo party for today. I would love to know if this inspires you. If you have questions about your logo, I will wait a couple minutes if anybody wants to leave any questions here in the chat. But thank you so much for everyone attending. Let's see. There is the chat link. And we did get it recorded, so I will be sending out the replay. There we go. Okay. Any questions? Let me check here. 1 second. And what did we think of Cloud Presenter? Pretty good, right? This was a new online presentation software. It's an alternative to Zoom. If anybody is looking for an alternative to Zoom or something like that, this is a really great one. Okay. All right, everyone. So I don't see anything. There is your link if you need to get the logo bundle. I hope this helps you to be inspired about your branding, know what to do with your logo, and help you understand all the great, amazing marketing things that you can do for your business. We'll be in touch very soon. Thanks, everyone.